The legendary free kick goal in the 87th minute of the 2022 World Cup final. That is my prediction. It can't be any more better than that. Argentina to be 3-3 in the World Cup final. Manager Gareth Southgate is from Watford, England. It is Watford that is Gematria 33. Looking at the kits, I like Argentina to wear the classic white and sky blue stripes. England to wear red for the final right before Christmas, the holiday of the man dressed up in red. Santa Claus in red represents the College of Cardinals, the bishops that reside in the city of Rome. It is Argentina that will win the World Cup the day right after the 86th birthday of Pope Jorge Bergoglio, the current Pope from Argentina. Argentina won its first World Cup since 1986. And it's Los Rojos, the Reds, that's Gematria 33. Argentina's first World Cup final, 1930, the inaugural one against Uruguay. Argentina 3-3 in the final. Last World Cup win at Mexico. Argentina to be 3-3 in the final. England's last World Cup loss was against Belgium. Its next World Cup loss can be against Argentina as Argentina become 3-3 in the final. Also, the first opponent after the Hand of God game for Argentina was Belgium. Argentina also can become 3-3, 3 wins, 3 losses against England in the World Cup final. Argentina against England in the World Cup have allowed 8 goals, and have scored 5. The 86th minute, the free kick goal can happen to win the World Cup for the first time since 1986. 8 goals scored. 8 goals allowed against England, 6 scored. 8 goals allowed, 6 goals scored against England. The legendary free kick goal. After 86 minutes after the birthday of Jorge Bergoglio. After 85 minutes for the Messiahs is when we see all this happening. Now, who's the goalkeeper that he's going to beat to make the legendary free kick? Messi becomes Michael Jordan after beating JORDAN Pickford for the goal to become the Michael Jordan of world football. JORDAN Pickford, the goalkeeper of Everton. In Gematria, the practice going letters and words into numbers, as we go down and scroll down through the calculator, it is Everton by itself that has Gematria 36. Well, by beating an Everton goalkeeper, Argentina will win the World Cup for the first time in 36 years. Argentina win the World Cup for the first time since 36 years after the death of Diego Maradona. Maradona played for Society Sportivo Calcio Napoli. Maradona died of a heart attack. All those have Gematria of Everton. The amount of time from Maradona's death to the World Cup final, again, is 107 weeks and 4 days. On the 108th week, Everton FC, SSC Napoli, heart attack, Gematria 108. After 107 weeks and 4 days later, Argentina win the World Cup. Diego Maradona is Gematria 107. The Hand of God is Gematria of 107. Hand of God has Gematria of 47 for Argentina. Ever since it last won the World Cup final, Argentina, at the World Cup, ever since it last won the World Cup in 1986. There's 24, there's 29. The 36th match since their last World Cup victory is when they lost the final. That was a clue they're going to win 36 years later. So they're at 40, their 47th match since winning the World Cup. Argentina will win the World Cup again. Es la mano de los Dios, the hand of God. That is Jumanji 59. The state of Qatar is Jumanji 59. And if I'm not mistaken, it is also Pope Francis. That is Jumanji 59 as well. That's the whole meaning of the 86th birthday for Pope Francis at the state of Qatar after Qatar National Day. Argentina win the World Cup for the first time since 1986. The Messiah is also Jumanji 107. Keep in mind, Diego Maradona, 107 weeks after his death. The 26th match in the World Cup final for Messi. To beat JORDAN Pickford for the free kick goal in his 26th match of the World Cup in his career. JORDAN Pickford, we were interpreting Jordan with Michael Jordan, we were interpreting Jordan with JORDAN Pickford. Jordan has Jumanji 62. Diego Maradona, Jumanji 62. And the hand of God is Jumanji 62. So I believe we see the magic happen in the World Cup final when Argentina defeat England. 56 years later, it is England that will play in the World Cup final. Is football coming home for England this time around in the World Cup? Since winning in 1966 and 2022, 56 years later, the wait will continue. The wait will continue for sure. Because in Gematria, the practice of going letters and words into numbers, what 56 tells us is when Argentina win the World Cup again. Messi takes the crown after the crown virus, the coronavirus, because virus has Gematria of 86. That's the whole meaning of corona meaning crown. Messi and GOAT King LeBron help the world celebrate when GOAT King LeBron wins back-to-back to tie Michael Jordan when Lionel Messi wins the World Cup with a free kick goal over JORDAN Pickford. Crowned is Jumanji 82. Pickford is Jumanji 46. There are 46 books in the Old Testament in the Bible. What the Catholic Church goes by. When we go to the record in the World Cup final, when we go to the record for Argentina against England, you're going to notice something too. You're going to notice something too. The record for Argentina against England is currently 4-6. 4 wins Argentina, 6 for England. When Argentina win the final in the 16th match between Argentina and England, because it is GOAT that has Jumanji 16. This is all going to happen before Argentina win their 16th Copa America in 2024. England's going to fail to bring it home 56 years later from 1966 because Argentina last won the World Cup at the Azteca. Azteca is Jumanji 56. The Hand of God game, La Mano, is Jumanji 56. 56 years later, they're in the World Cup final, but Argentina are going to win for Messi's 20th World Cup win because of the fact that it is Messi that has Gematria of 20. When Argentina defeat England, it's going to be 4 Argentina goals, 6 for England. 46 books, the Old Testament. Argentina win 1-0. 2 wins Argentina, 2 England. 56 years later from its last World Cup, England are going to fail to win. England would be 6-5 against Argentina. 6 wins and 5 lost by losing to Messi. When Argentina win, Argentina is going to be 5-6 against England as England fails to win the World Cup final 56 years later. Argentina's 5-6. Coronavirus, Jumanji 56. The Jesuits, the Society of Jesus, Jumanji 56. The free kick goal, Argentina 5-6 against England. The hand, the Azteca, Argentina's last World Cup. What about Germany, Alemania? Well, Germany would lose to England as England makes the World Cup 56 years later. This is how we have Germany in Spanish losing to England in the semifinals of the World Cup. Argentina against England on the 7th day of the 6th month. 7-6. Well, in the World Cup, Argentina's it is England's 76th match in the World Cup that can happen against the GOAT Lionel Messi, because the GOAT is Dimancia 76. Pickford is the keeper for the Toffees. Toffees is Dimancia 76. It is Italia that defeated England in the Euro final. Bonucci scored. Croatia defeated England in the World Cup final. In the World Cup semifinals, I should say. 36 months later, England got eliminated from the final of the Euro. Its next major tournament loss is going to be a loss to Argentina, as Argentina win the World Cup 36 years later. 36 months after losing the World Cup semifinals, England lost to Italia. And they lose again. The GOAT. The 76th match in the World Cup for England. For the Toffees keeper. 75 prior matches for England. Pickford, I think it's Jordan Lee Pickford is Dimancia 75. It is Newborn King that has Dimancia of 75. The Newborn King, Lionel the Messiah, to win the World Cup against Jordan Lee Pickford. Jordan Lee Pickford, born on March the 7th, the World Cup final happening 41 weeks later. It is King Messi. It is King, that's Dimancia 41. It is a free kick by itself, that is Dimancia 41. So this is how we know Jordan Pickford, he's going to get beat. But his dad didn't like the fact that his last name was Pigford. Pigford is Dimancia 75. So they changed the last name to Pickford instead of Pigford. Which is interesting. You can go by the real last name of Jordan Pickford, because remember, in his personal life, well, I will link you my information. His last name being called Jordan Pickford, getting switched over to Pickford, but Jordan Lee Pickford is Dimancia 159 and 87. The Messi prophecy is 87. Can Messi win the final? Argentina 13-4 in the final. 13-4 in the World Cup. Are going to win 13-3 and 4. 7-7 in regulation. Argentina, the 20th win in the World Cup final. Messi, 20 wins, 4 losses in the World Cup. The legendary free kick against Jordan Lee Pickford is real last name. After 86 minutes, the state of Qatar. Another episode of Argentina against England. Revenge for the goal in the 44th minute by David Beckham. The state of Qatar is when we see them match up again. That's the whole meaning of losing the group stage in 2002. Now see another 1-0 on the horizon. Jordan Lee Pickford is Dimancia of 85. The same Dimancia as Messias. 85 prior minutes for 86 minute. We see all this happening. Again, this is the Michael Jordan moment for Lionel Messi right here. The golden moment for Lionel Messi. You know, Croatia, the next loss. Lost Croatia, lost to Italy, and now losing the Lionel Messi. And that's the next big loss for England in a major knockout tournament. I do like 50 wins for Argentina when it's all said and done. To remain at 15 draws, could be 16 if they go into extra time in any of those games. Certainly possible. That's going to be 15 times without winning the World Cup for England in its 16th participation because GOAT is Gematria 16. Qatar in PSG at Gematria 15. It's Jorge Bergoglio by itself that also has Gematria Crown and Gematria Pickford. I mean, this is my golden prediction for the World Cup. Also, Pope Jorge Bergoglio also has Gematria. Pope Jorge, just Pope George as Gematria 107, then Pope Jorge Bergoglio as Gematria 107. So that really fits the theme of Argentina winning the World Cup after 107 weeks, right after his 86th birthday. It's pretty obvious what we see happening in store right now for this World Cup final. Jordan Pickford having Gematria 74. Messi's last final in the World Cup was on July the 4th. Messiah has Gematria 74. So let's see how many matches in the World Cup this was for England. It'd be match 47 for Argentina since it last won the World Cup. I've already broken down the significance of 47 because Hand of God is Gematria 47. For manager Gareth Southgate, his knockout record is 5-2 between the 2018 World Cup and the 2020 Euros. 2-1 losing to Croatia, then 3-1 losing at Wembley. He's 5-2, and Southgate's knockout record should be 8-2. Before the moment when Messi is crowned against Jordan Pickford, to be 8-3 in the World Cup final, beating Germany in the semifinals but losing the final. And his knockout record would be 8-3, not including the third place match between Belgium. And is also football. Football's coming home. Nope. Football Gematria 83. It's coming home to Argentina. It's not coming home to England. It's coming home to Argentina. England's 20th loss to Messi. Argentina beat England 20 years later. From a standpoint of its last World Cup final, well, the meaning of Gematria of Jordan Pickford having Gematria 48 is very clear. Go to Jordan Pickford or Pegford. Jordan Pickford is Gematria 144 and 72. It is December the 18th of 2022. That's numerology of 72. Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford has Gematria of the amount of points Argentina have all time in the World Cup table right now. Argentina have 144. Mark of the Beast, Lionel Messi. His knockout record is 5-4 right now. Jesuit Order, Gematria 54. How does Gareth Southgate figure into the equation? Gareth is Gematria 59. Gareth Gematria 59 is the same Gematria as the state of Qatar and the Hand of God. Gareth Southgate having Gematria of Lionel Messi. Lionel is Gematria 67. Gareth Southgate's Gematria 175. Gematria Pope Francis in reverse. So very interesting what we see right here with 175. Diego Armando Maradona is the March of 92. It is 92 years from the inaugural World Cup in 1930 is when Lionel Messi is going to win. The big significance of 92 right here. In the book of Revelacion is when Lionel Messi wins the World Cup. Libro de revelacion. Lionel Messi will win the World Cup. He will win the World Cup 92 years from the time of the inaugural World Cup. The World Cup is born for Lionel Messi. When we break down the English flag, when it represents the cross, always remember, Diego Maradona, Bergoglio's 86th birthday, his 86th birthday, the day before the final. Messi wins the World Cup. He ties Diego Maradona. Diego Maradona says this: I've never seen anyone like Messi. I thank God that Messi is in Argentine. We have Messi, the Pope, in me. Always remember this when they beat the red cross of the St. George flag right before Christmas after the birthday of the Pope, the 86th birthday. Diego Maradona's legendary goal of the century. He beats number 3. He beats number 6. Argentina wins the World Cup 36 years later. Diego Maradona, at the first part of the goal, he beats number 3. He beats number 6. We shall visit the hand of God, shall we? But first, get to England's World Cup matches. That's 5, 10, 14, 21, then 25, and 35, 39, 42, 49. Argentina's 56th World Cup match ever since the final, 1966. They're going to lose to Argentina after the birthday of Jorge, of George, having gematria of 58. Jorge Bergoglio. Argentina won the Copa America for the first time in 28 years. Well, at Doha, Qatar, Argentina are going to win the World Cup after the birthday of George. The 5'7" Lionel Messi. Gold. Dorado. Golden generation. Defeat England in the World Cup final. Win over Qatar. Lionel Messi. 55th minute goal for Diego Maradona after scoring in the 51st minute against England. In the 51st minute, after 50 minutes, Argentina's 50th World Cup match in the final against England. Inglaterra is gematria 51. Lionel Messi is gematria 51. The hand of God goal in the 51st minute. It's Qatar, that's gematria 51. It's 51. We can go on and on with that. 50 prior minutes, the 50th win in the World Cup for Argentina. Diego Maradona, 55th minute, 55 years without the World Cup final. The England can make it again after 56 years. Goalkeepers number 13, Chris Woods. Argentina are going to win the World Cup for the first time since the 13th World Cup in 1986. It'd be the 13th World War. 13 prior matches, including the third place match, but 1, 2, 3, and 6, and 3 and 4, not including the third place match against Belgium. That'd be 13 World Cup matches, and if we include the 14th game, that's the 14th World Cup match for England. They face off against Argentina. The details. 60-yard, 10-second dash. Will England have to wait another year when England finish with silver again? Let's go to hand of God goal, because that is spectacular. Wow, 8 inches shorter than 6'1" Shilton. Reached its first with his outside left hand. Amazing. Amazing. This is really amazing. Notice how Qatar to watch 21 of the game, ending 2-1. Peter Shilton also asked Jamacha the hand of God. Jamacha 62. And Diego Maradona. Go on and on with this. Argentina against England. How about that?